Harihi Om. Hearty fraternal greetings and good wishes to all the brothers and sisters. Yesterday in the morning, the importance of regular rhythmic internalization and relation with the inner side of the being was deliberated upon, and in the afternoon the group and the various groups and relating to these groups was deliberated upon. The two have to be equally vibrant for a disciple, for a yoga student. He has to be as much working within as much as he works outside. Yoga is all about balancing the inner and the outer, subtle and the gross, higher and the lower. This is what is mechanically stated as the vertical and the horizontal. There has to be a vertical work consistently so that you gain connection to the very origin of your being. There has to be a horizontal work where you become relevant in the world through your service to the surrounding life. That is yoga. Yoga is not a withdrawal from the world. Yoga is also not immersing in the world. It is neither of them. On a daily basis, a yogi relates to the higher and subtle energies and equally relates to the gross world. If one is either way, he is not a yogi. That's where Lord Krishna, as I said yesterday, recommended the optimum situation for the human is to be a yogi. A yogi is one who is as busy in the outer world as he is in the inner world. Busyness in the outer world will lead you to mortality and death. Busyness in the inner world and not related to the outer world will make you irrelevant in the world. Krishna demands that you should be as relevant in the inner world as you are in the outer world. The beauty of being in the inner world is, as I said yesterday in the morning, that you develop continuity of purpose for which you would have developed continuity of consciousness and continuity of life. That's how yogis have been functioning. If Lord Maitreya and his team of noble beings are working over thousands of years ever since the advent of Kali Yuga, it is due to their state of being yogis. That's the clue. They are very relevant in the world. They are also equally relevant in the higher world. And they stand as a bridge between the higher systems and our planetary system. We too can join them as humans. In human, there is the potential to link to the higher and bring down the higher, subtle, divine energies unto the earth. That's what Jesus also worked for. That's why he frequently said, Kingdom of God upon earth. Bring down the higher energies unto the earth and make this earth beautiful. It's our responsibility. To bring it down, you need the vertical work. As much as you do the vertical work, so much you are capacitated. Your abilities get multiplied. You get more and more reinforced so that you deliver into the world things of beauty, things of order, things of nobility, things of inspiration, and so on and so forth. That's why for every human being, to be a complete human being, the two words have become equally important. If he is only with the world and not connected vertically, then he gets immersed in the world and he gets lost in the world, and eventually when he dies, he loses the continuity of purpose because he did not develop continuity of consciousness. The beauty is that you do not experience death when you work with the vertical. You know that death is but a change and death is but a transition. Death is but a change from one plane to the other plane. You also know when the hour of departure comes, where exactly would you go? You already know before you depart, where do you go? Just like when you come to a group life here from your own places of residence, you know very well where you are going. You also very well know what you would be doing there, more or less. You would very well also know whom do you meet there. It's not a total strange, unknown, confusing situation when you have worked vertically. That's the beauty of vertical work. That you, just like wherever you go, you wish to know the place, you wish to know the persons, you wish to know the work. Likewise in higher planes, you know whom do you meet and how will it be that place and what could be the work that you do. That's a facility which humanity has, which it has not been used. For that reason there is the need for vertical work. And then just vertical work does not work, because vertical work cannot happen unless horizontal work is well fulfilled. If you do not fulfill your duties here well, you are not required in a higher system. When you cannot do well in kindergarten, you cannot be admitted into an elementary school. Unless you do well in the elementary school, you cannot be admitted in the middle school and then later the higher school, then the college and the university. It's all how you fare well in a given situation that gives you a chance to move into higher world. So faring well here has its own code of conduct. Faring well here has its own code of conduct. It will relate well to the beings in the surroundings. That's where both works become important to make a free movement between the higher and the lower. A master of wisdom moves with great facility in the higher world as he moves in the lower world. That's where we have in the Eastern scriptures Narada, and in the Occidental scriptures Saint Michel. These are the ones who move in all the planes, cosmic, solar, planetary planes with great facility. That's because they are equally relevant in every plane. That's how a yogi, among all yogis, they are quoted as the most high, and beyond them it's only the Kumaras. And Narada or Saint Michel is one of those Kumaras. So, the scope of work that a disciple has should be clearly understood. It's not that you get totally lost in the world, it's not that you totally get irrelevant in the world. In the past, they were getting more and more irrelevant to the world, and that was understood to be a very selfish process. See, seeking God for your own self is not selfish. It is seeking money, seeking power, seeking any other thing, seeking for yourself. Seeking for self in any aspect is seen as selfish, and to such ones there is no obligation for the divine to open doors and receive them into their own kingdom, into the higher kingdom. Selfish ones have no entry into higher kingdom. So they have to demonstrate unselfishness on earth. That's where the question comes relating to the groups. Yesterday I spoke of so many groups. There is a family group, there is a group in relation to vocation, there is a group in relation to society, there is a group in relation to the spiritual practice. Among these groups, there is a distinction. One stands different from the other. A family group represents a group to which you have tremendous obligation. They gather around you because you have obligations towards them. You have incurred obligatory karma. As a consequence, you would have the related group, obligatory karma. Meaning, you have a debt towards them. You owe them. That's why they come and take it from you, demanding from you in a very mystical way, in a very illusory way. Thinking that they are your own, you do everything to them. Thinking that they are your own, you try to do everything to them, starting from changing the snuggies. From that point you take care of their clothing, their food, you carry them, you see how the parents work with their children. Everyone has been going through that experience. It's an obligatory karma. By clearing a debt, you haven't done a great job. By clearing a debt, don't think you have done a great job. If I owe you money and I did not pay you, for a long time, he has come and now he starts demanding from you in a different way. That's how we educate our children with great cost. All the cost is what we owe him. We give health conditions to them with great cost. All that cost we owe them. Likewise, the relation between the man and the lady, one trying to do for the other. Don't see it as service. When you are discharging a debt, you can't say that you are doing a service. So serving the family is no big deal. It has to be done. If you don't do it, you get more and more bound. More and more bound. Likewise, serving through vocation is an obligatory karma. Obligatory. You are living in a society. You cannot but serve the society. And as much as you serve the society, you get the recognition, you get the response from the society, you get facilities from the society. The return in the family is an emotional consideration. For all that you do, emotionally you are satisfied. It's an emotional aspect. The consideration is emotion. It's not money there. When you do it to the society through your vocation, it's all based on money equations. No one does anything in the society free. Isn't it? So, you do it and you receive it. It's an obligatory karma that we have to society, towards the society. And the society in turn takes care of it. That's all. It's an obligation. Be it professional work or social work that you do, it is also a debt to the society. You have a debt to the society. A spiritual group is a group where there is no obligation. A spiritual group is a group where there is no obligation. That's where whatever you offer to do, there you gain. You should see the difference. If you have done anything without expectation, if you have done anything without any kind of return, it is called service. So working for the family group, working for the society is one thing. Working unconditionally as an offering through a spiritual group to the plan is another thing. You should know this. The first two come under a different category. The last one comes under a higher footing. That's where if you don't do anything, no one asks anything. Isn't it? If you don't take care of your family, they demand from you. If you don't take care of a service society, you are not supported by the society. As much as you serve the society recognizes you, supports you, and even recognizes you, puts you on a high platform and all that. It's all, there is a commercial equation in these two groups. That's not spiritual. That's why in a satsang, a group where you follow a path, no one is obliged to the other in any way. There is no obligation. It's all free. So anything you do there is what is counted as yajna. That is what is called yajna. Yajnartham kuru karmani. That's how Krishna says. Do something which is not meant for you, but for others' benefit. Do something which has no return for you emotionally or economically or socially. It has no social recognition, it has no emotional response, it has no money response. In those areas whatever you have done, you gain certain energies which will contribute to your transformation. The rest is all commerce. The rest is all commerce. That's where Krishna speaks of two kinds of karma. Yajnartha karma and other karma. Yajnartha means offering a service without any expectation. Without any expectation, if you have done something for the benefit of a fellow being, where you don't even look for a recognition. That's what Jesus says, love thy neighbor. Love thy neighbor. That's a question. Who is the neighbor? You all know Bible, isn't it? Who is the neighbor? Is he the one who stays by my right or by my left? That question was asked, which neighbor should we serve? Should we serve the neighbor on the right or on the left or in the front or in the back? Jesus smiled and gave a parable. He gave the story of Good Samaritan. A Good Samaritan. On a hot summer day, you know what it is in Israel. It's worse than India. A man has fallen on the street. He fainted and fallen on the street. So people go busily. They look at it. They have no time. They have other jobs to do. So one went away, another went away, a third category went away. He speaks of different persons of different social standing. And then comes a man who stops, who gives water, who puts him on his horse and takes him to the destination and leaves him there. Neither he knows the fainted one or the fainted one knows the man who helped him. That is the neighborism. Loving the neighbor means helping a stranger who is unconnected to you. In India, we help servants, servant maids, help their marriage, help their children education, and think it is service. It's not service. Because in turn they are grateful to you and they do better job for you. So that's not service. Where there is something back to you, it's not service. Where there is nothing that comes back to you, it has gone. That is what is called Gupta Dana. Meaning a service to this train. If you are serving a group in Africa who never relate to you, it's a service. There are so many on the planet who don't have a square meal a day, who don't have a pair of clothing to put on, who don't have even anything called a shelter. If you have helped them, it is seen as service. Like that, it starts from there. There are so many yajnas Krishna speaks of in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita and says these are all the ways by which you can do service. He says, he calls the chapter is named as the chapter relating to knowledge, Jnana Yoga. The chapter is titled as Jnana Yoga, but what is given is varieties of unconditional selfless service. 12 of them he mentions there. 12 of them. He gives 12 different sacrifices by which knowledge knocks at your door. There is a way that knowledge knocks at your door. There is a way that a master of wisdom knocks at your door and anxious to enter into your house and even stay with you. There is a way. You are running after knowledge. You are running after masters. It is an illusion. There is a way that they come to you. The divine will come into your house if you act in a manner of service. It's not that you do a little and look there. I have done this, what will you do for me? That's the beauty of service. Krishna speaks in the 4th chapter. In the 3rd chapter he speaks working for oneself and working for others. In the 4th chapter he speaks just how many ways you can help others. You can use your body to help others without any expectation. You can use your sense abilities to help others. You can use your mind's abilities to help others, seeking nothing. You can use your intelligence to help others. You can share knowledge and help others without expectation. You can heal others without expecting anything from others. These are all seen as services. You can show the path to others to reach the divine or to alleviate themselves from their suffering. Like that from Sarika Yajna to Brahma Yajna, he gives 12 categories of service that one can render without looking back for any return from them. That's service. So this kind of service enables your meditations to happen in much better way. In a much better way, it happens when you have rendered unconditional, selfless service. That is service. And that service is a service to those who are unconnected to you. Unconnected to you. You do so much to those who are connected to you and feel that you have done great service. You are in a great illusion. If you don't do it, they demand. If you don't do it, they demand. That's not service. So there are different varieties of groups. So serve those groups from where there is not even a remote chance of your receiving help in return. If it comes, for example, to an unrelated unit of energy, unit of life. When you have done some service and some return comes of it, then he speaks of dana, meaning make sure that you don't utilize it for yourself, reuse it in service. Reuse it in service. That's how it has to be. For the service that you render, through nature and through people when you receive a lot, ensure that it again gets back into service, that's all. So that you remain unaffected by it, otherwise you are drawn into the world. That's how yogi works. A yogi ultimately stands with the world but does not stand in the world. He is not in the world, he is with the world. He is available to the world, but he is not sunk in it. That's the beauty of yoga practice. It starts from exercises, breathing exercises. You may do thousands of exercises unless you have demonstrated a sense of offering, a sense of selflessness. Nothing opens from above because there is no obligation for them to open for you. Why should they open anything for you when you haven't done anything? If you go and knock at an ashram's door, they open the door and ask, what have you done? What have you done? I took care of my family. The door shuts itself. I took care of my business unit. The door shuts itself. I took care of my community. The door shuts itself. You know how it opens? When the question is asked, the answer has to be silent. Meaning, you did a lot, unconditional service, and you don't even claim it. Then the door opens. You did a lot, and you don't even claim that you have done that. Then the door opens. That's how the walls of heaven open. That's how Yudhishthira to him, the celestial king's chariot comes to pick him up. That's how the story starts. Selflessness has to be demonstrated for better meditations to happen. Selfish meditations are not responded, and you may have your own illusion of responses. That's why a lot is written in the books about unconditional selfless service rendered to the surrounding life. And then the prayers. Just if you do this and do not do the other side, there are many who render lot of service in the outer without expectation, but still their abilities remain limited. Their abilities remain very, very, very limited. But if you relate regularly as you do your life of service, if you relate regularly vertically, concurrent to your activity outside, so much there is an opening that happens vertically. So vertical ascent becomes possible by a horizontal demonstration of service. That's it. And then, as much as you receive, just like as much as you inhale, so much you have to exhale. The energies that you receive from higher circles, unless you appropriately expend them, there is no further influx of energies into you. Meditations take to higher gradations when there is a concurrent demonstration of service in the outer world. That's how it is. For every inflow, there has to be an outflow. If there is no outflow into right channels, there will be no inflow. You breathe in, and you can't breathe in for a second time unless you breathe out. Such natural is the law of the nature. You see the plants, the animals, the elements, the planets, They are entirely for others. The planets are working for others. The sun is working for others. The five elements are working for others. It means nothing. They are not working for themselves. That's why they are in that stature. As much as you also do it, you also like ascend in that manner. And then there is a relative. The two things are important. That's what I wish to emphasize as a reminder. Don't get lopsided with one thing and forget the other. You can't forget which of the two hands you would like to give away, please tell me. If someone asks you, would you like to hold the right or the left hand? Are you willing to cut off? If a killer comes and says, I cut your left hand or the right hand, which do you want me to cut? You want both hands. You want both hands. Which eye would you like to lose? Which leg you want to lose? You would like to remain wholesome. Likewise, meditation and service, they are the two wings of the bird called soul that rises. Meditation and service, or prayers and service, worship and service. Worship and leads to and prayers culminate into meditation. So why can't we work with both? It's like digging the tunnel from either side, so that the work is done quicker. One way it suffers limitation, other way it does not happen. You don't see any great saints just meditating, not serving the surrounding. They did large acts of healing and teaching while they are relating to the higher. Don't think only healing and teaching are the activities of service. There are other fields of service like education, science, civilization, working for civilization. Working for so many things without expectation. Whatever is meant for the benefit of a larger whole, which does not mean anything to you in return, is service. That is called yajna. When you do this yajna, you have jaya. That's how it is said in the scriptures. Yaja leads to jaya. It's the same sounds. Ya, ja, ja, ya. That's why the numbers are also 18 and 81. 18 and 81. I spoke of this in the past, in the magic of the flute, the famous theatrical drama that we have in Europe. There is a character whose age is said to be 81, but it is 18. 18 and 81 are the numbers relating to Yaja and Jaya. Jaya is Mahabharata, according to Vedavyasa. Its original name of Mahabharata is Jaya. The concept of fulfillment, how it happens only through unconditional service and relating to the divine. The whole story of Mahabharata is that. And Bhagavad Gita speaks of 18 chapters, and it is nothing but again 81 as 18. So 18, 81, Yaja, Jaya, fulfillment, service, they are all one and the same. Let me not digress, let me come back. The need to serve has different categories. Discharging obligatory karma is fundamental. Discharging obligatory karma is fundamental. Over and above that, did you do anything? You can't say that you gave a donation when you have repaid a debt. Can you say that? If you have repaid a debt, you can't say I donated. So obligatory karma cannot be seen as having extra feathers on it. Besides that, if you have done anything, that is what is seen as yajna. That service has to be significant so that the divine is inclined to orient to you, and then when you do prayers, it happens easier. It happens easier. Many times when you are not doing so much of good work outside, even if you are with the prayers, you discontinue your prayers. Discontinuity of prayers is not only from our side, it is also from the other side. Please note that. When the divine doesn't want you to relate to him, you don't feel like doing prayer. That's all. It's either way. If you telephone, he has no obligation to lift. He has no obligation to lift. Does he? But there can be a readiness to lift your telephone call from the other side. When you have done well here, your prayers are a phone call to the higher circles. Sometimes, sometimes many times, depending upon what you have done. Depending upon what you have done today, your prayer will be tomorrow. It is so simple. Many people think it is by their choice they have abstained from prayer. It's not so. It is by the will of the higher. That it has no use, it has no purpose. So you don't feel like praying. You don't feel like meditating. By that, you remain limited. You remain limited. Because many students ask which is more important. Is service more important? Is prayer more important? Is your left eye more important or right eye more important? Is lunar energy more important or solar energy is more important? Which is more important? It's both. Once a devotee meditated upon the mother. The mother appeared with two jugs in her hands. And said, which do you want? Then the devotee said, what are they? Because you should know what they are before you ask for it. He said, this is spiritual splendor. This is material splendor. Which of the two you want? So, the devotee said, can't you give me both, mother? She was happy, she gave both. That's the story of Ramakrishna of Tenali, isn't it? Such is a yogi. Don't think Tenali Ramakrishna, which is of course relatively not known in the West, don't think he is just a poet. Or a man who made humor in the chambers of a great king. He was a great initiate. A very great initiate because he has seen both sides of the coin. He holds both sides. Coming back to the coin, which side of the coin you want? You can't have one side of the coin. It's both. So therefore, please reorganize that we have as much selfless, unconditional service, and prayer, so that your awareness, you as the being, would tend to be like a bird who would take off, not otherwise. A bird with one wing cannot take off. A bird with one wing cannot take off. We have been deliberating upon the need to hold on to immortality, by which we have continuity of purpose, continuity of consciousness through continuity of life, which makes, and that is possible only through yoga. Yoga Vidya is called Tarana Vidya, meaning it enables you to transcend. Other Vidyas, other sciences, they don't let you transcend it. That's why this discipleship. And Lord Maitreya is the master of the masters on the planet relating to yoga. The master of the master. He has mastered the eightfold path of yoga even before he had the encounters with Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna found that amidst the humanity, he is the most outstanding one. Therefore, he chose him. He chose Arjuna to set order in the world, but to set order for the entire Kali Yuga, he chose Lord Maitreya. Entire Kali Yuga. To give the key of yoga to humanity for the entire span of Kali Yuga, Lord Krishna instituted Lord Maitreya. And this is very clearly written in Bhagavata Purana, in the 3rd canto and in the 12th canto. It is also very clearly said in that Purana called Bhavishya Purana, meaning the Purana of prophecies, and Kalki Purana, the Purana of the descent of Kalki, the avatar. In all these it is clearly said that it is Lord Maitreya, along with Master Maurya and Master Kuthumi, shall set the order of yoga to humanity to transcend. If you see all the scriptures of the East, they are only oriented for transcendence, be it Bhagavata or Bhagavad Gita or Bharata or Upanishads. And the teachings of the hierarchy, especially from the advent of Kali Yuga, is about transcendence. And Jesus the Christ demonstrated transcendence. Remember, being a member of hierarchy, he very clearly, emphatically demonstrated transcendence. He showed to humanity that you live after death and you can come back into the same body and even appear. Such are the yogis. Master CVV demonstrated 18 times. 18 times to his disciples that there is no death. You can transcend. If you wish, you come back, or you can come back in another form, but continue to have the same consciousness. That's what all masters stand for. So that is a facility which you would gain. And your abilities also tend to be unlimited. When your abilities are unlimited, your ability to serve is much higher. Much higher. When your abilities are limited, you do a very little insignificant service here and there, and you feel your bubble is so big. Each one builds his own bubble and stays in it, and feels that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. That's how I am only trying to inform, not that you don't know. This gathering is meant for recollection. This is meant for recollection. So in that recollection, I am emphasizing the need of the two-pronged approach, two-way approach. Your approach into the world, your approach into the world beyond has to be equally vibrant. Make it vibrant. It's a matter of will, because you are essentially made in the image and likeness of God, and nothing is impossible if we will. If we will, nothing is impossible. Because we are in the image and likeness of God. Mamevamso, like that Krishna says, you are all made like me. Bible says God made man in his own image and likeness. So how do you get this likeness? It's a recollection and through reorganization, through a rearrangement. So for that rearrangement, I present one technique today, the technique of relating into, getting into Antakarana and building Antakarana Siddhi. Within you, there is the inner man, as I told you yesterday. Within the inner man, there is the divine man. You are three in one. Enter into the heart chamber. Thereafter you find a different world within this world. That's why entry into the heart is considered most important. For that, yesterday I gave the introductory explanation that you relate to something which is divine in you, which you like most, like a flame, like a sunrise. That makes you enter in. That is to get into the subjective side of your mind. That's not the end of things. Many people think if they turn inward, it's all over. It's not over, that's the beginning. If you get into a school, it's the beginning. Just getting into school, you think it's all over. Nothing is over, it starts then. Whatever the outer world thinks as it's over is the beginning and the other side. So enter in, then you, one by one, you realize how you are three in one. Relate with him. Relate with him. If you enter into yourself, and meaning you turn in with the help of respiration or with the help of mind being engaged in something which is very engaging to you inside, and it should be a symbol of light. It can be a flame, it can be a sunrise, it can be a beautifully unfolded white lotus. It can be a picture of the Master, because he is an unfolded one. He helps you to unfold. And you should be able to visualize it without any disturbance. Whatever image of sublime nature that you propose to see within, just see that, and see that if we can see it without being disturbed, like an unflickering flame, that's how it is said. Like an unflickering flame. If you are seeing a white lotus, keep seeing it, see how beautiful it is. Keep seeing it. When you are disturbed of it, again repropose and see. Or if you see a rising sun ball, which is a daily event, keep seeing it and see the disk of the solar sun as golden to start, because the sunrise is it in the initially orange, later golden yellow, and later brilliant white. So let it be in you, visualize the same thing every day. Keep doing it. The mind puts you on. You can also see any divine form that you like in you, because we are an image of the same divine being. He too is of the same form. Cosmic person is like us. To say that, it is like saying the Father is like the Son. But the truth is, the Son is like the Father. You can't say to your father, you are like your son. No. The father was before. No. The Son is like the Father. So we are like Him. We are like Him. So within you can see in a lighted fashion your own form. It's also recommended in the scriptures. Swasya Rupa Sandhana. Your own form in a lighted form. Same contours, but full of light, full of golden light. Keep seeing. Let it be a practice daily. See it within. Or if you wish to see the beautiful, he is a very handsome man, Jesus, the Christ. You can see him within. Or Lord Maitreya, or Krishna, or Rama, or a mother, world mother. Anything beautiful, resplendent with light. Keep seeing. It has to be a practice. It has to be a practice. If you close your eyes, you should be able to feel Him. Feel that image in you. That lighted image in you, whatever is that lighted image, whatever name you give, it makes no difference. It is recommended that it is of human form, male or female, doesn't matter. If you see pictures, actually, if you see the picture of Maria, here, if you gaze at that picture, after a while you get confused whether it is male or female. It is male, female. So also, it's a male, female picture. Is God male or female? The cosmic person, is he male or female? In a men-dominated society, they said it is he. It is neither he nor she, it is both. It is male, female. God is male, female. The one that is beyond, he is either male or female. What we call that is neither male nor female. Its first descent is as male, female. It's not that first there is male and then there is a female. Because men wrote scriptures, they wrote like this. That's why there is a liberation movement. But the ancient most scriptures, if you look to them, if you look to the ancient most theologies, God has been male, female, with so many names, Ardhana, Adonai, so many. Male, female. Whatever it is, see a form of light in you. And that it is in you. And you are made up of that. If that is settled in your inner mind, when you are able to see it, you know what is happening. You are developing an insight which was never there before. Insight. People speak of insight. It's not a fashionable word. Insight. Insight is the sight that you have, the ability to see within. And that's the best to do. To see within. or to listen within. That's another practice. I don't get into it today. One practice, too many practices would be digressing. See the light within. Because among the senses, according to the seers, eye is the best. Anganam nayanam pradhanam. Among the five senses, eye is the middle one. That's why it is said to be the best. Eye is the middle one. Ear, he is with the fifth ether akasha. It is with the sound. Fifth ether. Touch is the fourth ether that comes to air. Eye relates to fire. Taste relates to water. Smell relates to matter. These are the five elements that are related to the five senses. Smell and matter, taste and tongue, taste and water and tongue. Water, if the tongue is dry, you can't taste it. Tongue is invariably wet. It's the wetness of the tongue that makes you taste. Nose smells the matter. Because of the water, tongue tastes. Because of the fire that you carry, you see. Because of the air, you have the sense of touch. Because of the fifth ether, akasha, you have the ability to listen. So in all these five elements, the middle element is fire. That's why it is said to be the yogic element. Because yoga is the equipoise between any set of things. The middle point. Among numbers it is 5. Among 9 numbers that we have, 5 is the middle number. Likewise among the 5 elements, 5 is the middle one. So take to the middle one. From there you start your journey. If you start seeing within, you know what happens. You will slowly start feeling the taste for it. That's the taste, inner taste. And that will also develop slowly the fragrance of the inner light or lighted being that you are. You start feeling fragrance within, inner fragrance, inner taste, inner sight. Later will come the inner sense of touch of the subtle beings. Inner sense of the touch of subtle beings. If an angel touches you, or if a master of wisdom touches you with a lighted body, you know the touch. He can touch you, he can appear to you, ultimately he speaks to you and you listen. I wrote a book on listening to the invisible master. Books remain. Listening to the invisible master. Seeing the invisible master. Feeling his fragrance. Developing a taste towards him. That taste doesn't require your tongue to lick it. So like this, the inner senses develop. That is the important step that has to happen. The inner senses relate to inner implements, chitta. The mind, inner mind is called Chitta, outer mind is called Manas in Sanskrit. Inner mind, outer mind. Inner mind is for inner work. Outer mind is for outer work. The outer mind is not useful for inner work. Outer mind has to stay out or turn in. Then it is inner mind. The inner mind has no contact with the outer. When you have gone into Chitta in your being, that is the fundamental practice. Then the outer does not relate to you. If a child cries, there is no outer ear, it is closed for the time being. That's what we call closing the outer temple, in the Masonic sense. Closing the outer temple. The objective world around you is the outer temple. There is the subjective world in you into which you get in, that is the inner temple. In the inner temple there are again so many chambers you have to move through to meet with the image of God. So when you turn in, the subjective side is open and the objective side is closed. But that's not already samadhi. Don't think so. Not already samadhi. People deliberately use all words as they like. Turn in and visualizing within you are engaged. It can happen to you when you listen to music, If you are an ardent listener of music, when you listen to music, the whole surrounding disappears. To a true musician, the audience don't exist. To a true musician, audience don't exist. If he is with the audience, he is not musing. When he is in use with music, there is nothing in the surround. Nothing. How beautiful it is. He doesn't even feel after a point that he is playing music or he is singing music. It's happening, he is lost into it. Lost into it. So, playing for the audience, speaking for the audience, it's all an outer show. Outer show doesn't give the taste of the sublimity of the inner being. That's why among musicians there are some who just love music, they do it and they are lost into it. So is a poet. When a poet gets into listening or seeing another nature within the nature, or listening to sounds which are anahata sounds, then his inner senses open. He is oblivious to the outer and keeps on writing. Poetry. Poetry comes. After it is over, he looks back. To him it is a wonder. That's how inspirational writings also happen. And inspirational writing is a writing that you have tuned in and then it keeps flowing out. Such writings are of subtle nature. They stand longer. They have greater longevity. Such music has greater longevity. Because they are of a different order, they are not a reproduction of anything. They are creative. They belong to the inner side of man. Inner side of man. The inner man, who is Akshara Purusha, meaning the immortal one within, the indestructible one within. It is him and his ability you start gaining in terms of the five sensations. And then slowly you get tuned up into the source of that light, which is called Buddhi. That light. You go deeper into that light form which you are engaged with. That form helps you to enter it. That's where you need a form to enter it. Because we are of form, it's easy to enter through the form. Through the form to formlessness. From the formlessness, the forms have happened. You are on this side now. So once again, through the form, you enter the formlessness. Don't try to directly relate to the formlessness. It doesn't. But you can't relate to electricity like this. You need some means to relate to electricity. Electricity is in this hall. Can you relate? Make a plug and release it. You need a system to collect that electricity. It's all a science that you turn within, engage within, try to see that which you are visualizing without getting hastened or clouded, mostly disappears immediately because some other thought will come. Some other thought will come and disturb this. Suddenly some other person will appear on the screen. Mostly persons who trouble us, they appear. Isn't it? If you had a quarrel with your spouse the night before, next day morning, as you propose your prayer or meditation, the first thing you see is your spouse and the quarrel. So you listen inside all those outer things, the outer quarrel, the person who quarreled with you, all the events of the outer world, these are all keep coming. It's not so easy. Just use, now today you want to be something else, the past doesn't so quickly disappear. From today I wish to be a good man, it doesn't mean all that I have done earlier will not come and hit me. If I throw a stone on someone's head before I enter into this hall, in me there would be the fear, if I go out what will happen? So no. The consequence of deeds that you have done outside will come back to you. That's why not many can relate so easily. That is the reason you have to keep the outer life in good order. You have to keep the life in such good order that when you close your eyes, you don't get all those into you as you start working with your inner being, inner side. Too many inner side is a myth. Too many inner side is a myth to start with because it is not experienced. Whatever we don't experience, we say it is not there, it's easy to say, isn't it? It's all some fantasy like that. It's not fantasy. If you don't find stars now, you can't say there are no stars. Can you say that? You don't see any stars now. But can you say that there are no stars? So whatever you don't see, whatever you don't perceive, don't say that it's not there. Such a denial is utter ignorance. You haven't tried. You haven't tried. If you see milk, do you see the butter? When you see the milk, you don't see the butter. Can you already see the yogurt in it? It has the potential. Can you see ghee in the milk that you see? You have to put it to transformations. So also, you have to put yourself to transformations to see the inner side of your being, which is the basis for your outer being. Without that, you are not there. Without that, you are not there. Without the basic design, there is no industry, outer industry. First there is a basic design. Without the blueprint, there is no house constructed. So the basis relating to your outer being, which you know you are, he is within you. That can be slowly realized when you turn inward. When you turn inward, and when you do it so very regularly, Patanjali cautions us saying, you have to do it Dirgha Kala, long time. Dirgha Kala, meaning for long time to come. Do it for 12 years and then say no, nothing happened. Do it regularly for 12 years. By 5 years we get the grip, 5 years. It took 5 years for us to come out, and we were born as a child. We were not so much outside. We were not so much outside as we were born. We can't even see when we are born. People think that when the baby opens the eyes that it is seeing. It's not seeing. It opens the eyes but it cannot see. It cannot also listen. It starts with touch and taste. It starts with the touch. And firstly, it knows the touch of the mother. Then it knows the taste. By frequent touch and frequent taste, two aspects become externalized. The internalized being gets externalized through touch and taste. That's why in later times, when we grow up, touch and taste are the most difficult things to get rid of. Whatever has first happened is the last to get out. You know the message of Kali? You speak of Kali age and Kali Purusha. It's all Kali like that. Or Joseph Calder speaks of Kali. Oh Master, this is all Kali. Kali has come with one hand on the mouth and one hand on the anus. He came out like this as a boy. One hand on the anus, one hand on the mouth. That's how the scriptures say. Then the Lord asked, what is this posture? What is this meditational posture? He said, my Lord, with these two things I conquer this humanity. Finished. Meaning with sex and with food, I conquer this humanity. You can see how nicely I play the game. Finished. For man, it is very difficult to come out of touch, to come out of taste. We don't have to touch anything and everything. And there is so much of touching these days. Now the doctrine is, if you don't touch, if you don't hug, if you don't kiss, it is uncivilized, they say. Isn't it? It's not civility, not to touch. It is unsocial. If you don't touch, you are unsocial. If you don't kiss, you are unsocial. If you don't hug, not once or 3 times, it's unsocial. You hug this side, hug that side, hug this side, kiss this side, kiss this side, kiss this side. So many. Touch, for nothing. You don't know what you are touching, Through every touch, you are touching a quality of energy. Through every touch, you are touching a quality of energy. What kind of energy is that? We have an idea. There are certain energies which are agreeable, there are certain energies which may not be bad but not agreeable to you. So touch and then taste. So, coming back to this theme, touch and taste are the first two things through which the soul is externalized, the inner man is externalized. Then he gets the sense of sight and then hearing. Slowly in 5 years, he is externalized. A baby gets externalized in 5 years' time completely. So at least you need 5 years' time to internalize completely. Do it regularly. If not 5 years, 10 years. Right? The whole theme is to enter into, isn't it? As I said, that's initiation. That is Upadesha. If you don't enter into your own being, don't put yourself too many marks. Don't put yourself very high grades on you. Then you cannot enter into you. You haven't entered into your inner temple. Without entering into the temple, don't think that you are learning, you are becoming wise and you are meeting the divine. Then these three come next. The learning is all from within, not from without. As much as you learn outside through the objective mind, so much you learn inside through the subjective mind. For example, persons like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, and such of those seers, they did not read any books. But they knew better than those who read books. They are much more learned than others. You see the lives of initiates. How did they learn all that? How many books they have read? They don't find any library also with them. There is an inner learning of the supermundane things contrary to learning through books. There are sciences relating to objectivity which we can learn in the outer world. They are relevant to outer world. For the inner world, there is a different way of learning. It's not the same way. Just for information you may have books, but that is not learning. That is reading. Inner learning is through internalization. Just like with the objective mind you learn outside. Through subjective mind you learn inside. You cannot straight away take secret doctrine and read it. You cannot take Bhagavad Gita, read and understand. You understand in your own way, which is very confusing. Don't read that way. There is a way of reading from within. Then the outer scripture confirms your learning. That's the beauty. This is what I have learnt inside. And now I find this in this scripture. This master already said it. This scripture already said it. Because it's an affirmation each time when we learn inside and have an affirmation outside. It's not that you try to learn outside and try to implant inside. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. That is why you cannot retain also the knowledge that way. That knowledge will never help you in an occasion. That's what it is. So we continue. So we have made an entry in the description. So thereafter comes the real learning. It is inside the temple you learn. Inside your own temple you learn. That's why a very great being said, man, know thyself. Man, know thyself. Did not Pythagoras say that? Pythagoras is the peer of wisdom in the modern age. The peer. He said, man, know thyself. Did not the Oriental scriptures say, నిన్ను నువ్వు తెలుసుకో? వాడి గురించి తెలుసుకుందాం, వీడి గురించి తెలుసుకుందాం, మనకెందుకు వాడి గురించి తెలుసుకుందాం? Some relaxation for the translators. You know, they read so silently that people don't even recognize their existence. That is service. They have been doing over years, decades. It's service. No recognition. No recognition by the world means sure recognition by the other world. That's all. If you are recognized so much by the world, the Lord say, I don't have to recognize you, have a lot of recognition outside. Be with it. Be with it. There is a story, of course, stories are coming at the tag end by the time the scheduled time is up. I narrated to you earlier a story in the life of Krishna. Daily, a lady was coming to her house with fruits to offer to Krishna before she thinks of selling for her livelihood. She used to engage a lot with her. He used to engage a lot with her. Because it is she, the wives at home, are suspicious. If a man talks to another lady regularly, the wife gets suspicion. That is the beauty of humility. The ladies, one day they held a meeting. He said, why daily he talks so much to that fruit vendor? So one day, at the dining table, they pleasantly asked their man, why do you talk so much daily to him? He said, why not? Just we want to know, is she a devotee? Or do you? He said, no, I like the fruits that she eats. Then take the fruits, why do you talk so much? Krishna never answers so very easily. He said, yeah, I like to talk to her. But why? I like to talk to her. He didn't answer really what exactly he meant by that. So in the meanwhile, the great sage Narada comes home one day. Then the lady is informed this new developing episode with Krishna. And Narada was very close to Krishna, the Saint Michel of Orient. He said, why is it so, my lord, that it seems you are engaging daily in conversation with a fruit vending lady? He said, you too have the similar person, same person. Yes, I like to do it, that's all. There is in Benares a great devotee who is looking for your darshan. He is doing a lot in your name. You have never granted darshan to him, and daily you give darshan to this lady. What does he do? Krishna asked. Narada said, he built so many things in your name. He propagates your name. He speaks about you. He speaks about your great deeds. And he is the one who makes you very popular everywhere. And he is generally known by the society in Benares as a great Krishna Bhakta, devotee of Krishna. He is so much talked about in the city of Benares. Why don't you I met him. He said, I did so much for the Lord. I haven't had the darshan of the Lord. He was saying, why don't you meet him? Why don't you give darshan to him? Then Krishna said, he already has the recognition. He already has the fame. He doesn't really need me. He doesn't really need me. He is making himself famous with my name. He is making himself very famous with my name. If I appear to him, he will also market that further. If I appear to him, I give darshan to him, he will also market it further and promote himself more. He is engaged in self-promotion, and you all see that it is devotion. This lady, she is really devoted. Why should she daily offer fruits to me? And I don't pay anything to her. She doesn't accept any payment from me. She gets the best of the fruits daily for me, offers the fruits to me, rest of the fruits she goes and sells in the market. And she is not a lady of great economic means. She lives by that day's sale. To her, offering fruits to me is much more than selling fruits in the market. If I don't accept the fruit from her, that very day she dies. If I don't accept the fruit from her today, this day she will die. That's her devotion. Don't compare the publicized devotion in relation to the true devotion. So that's how, when it comes to recognition. Recognition of the world is no recognition. Maitreya the Lord was in any way no less than Vedavyasa. In fact, Maitreya enjoyed the sonship of his teacher. Well, Vedavyasa is the natural son of the teacher. Vedavyasa was the natural son of the teacher. Maitreya was born out of the teacher. In the sense, he is so dear. He enjoyed the sonship. It is to Maitreya that Vedavyasa dictates the basic Purana, Vishnu Purana, for 50 years. He dictates Vishnu Purana for 50 years to Maitreya, and all other Puranas are nothing but a detailing of that Purana. All other 17 Puranas are nothing but a detailing of Vishnu Purana. But no one knows. People know Vedavyasa in India, they do not know Maitreya. Vedavyasa and Maitreya have been colleagues. Vedavyasa is like Hermes Christ Majesties of Vedic knowledge. Without him, according to Indians, there is no knowledge. Without him, such a great being, considered to be an aspect of Lord Krishna. But Maitreya was dearer to the teacher. Maitreya was dearer even to Krishna. It is he who chose. It is Lord Krishna who chose Maitreya to be the world teacher for the entire Kali Yuga. When Vedavyasa was writing Puranas, Lord Maitreya informed his colleague not to mention too much about him. Don't mention me so very frequently in your scriptures. Don't mention. How beautiful it is. Vedavyasa could not but say something about him. And he said it in the third canto of Bhagavata. There he says, it is embodiment of cosmic person upon the planet. Maitreya, he is no less than the embodiment of cosmic person upon the planet. Seeing him, he is seeing verily the cosmic person. How many knew Maitreya? Even today, therefore, inner recognitions are greater. Through time, he will be known. He is the head. He is the head of all knowledge on the planet. He is the head of all teaching methodologies on the planet. He is the teacher of the planet. So that's how turning inward is different. You have different dimensions gained. As you turn inward, you find within you many things which are not desired. That is true introspection. A man who has no daily introspection would never know what are the dark shades relating to him. If you never look into your mirror, you don't see what spots you have on your face. Unless you turn inward, you do not see clearly yourself. Then you find a lot to be eliminated. To be eliminated. That's where the true sculpturing starts. The true sculpturing, the true self-chiseling starts only then, not until then. Then comes the next step of discipleship. That's why turning in is the first step. Turning in is the first step towards the third step of transition. Second aspect is sculpturing oneself. Sculpturing. Eliminating what is undesirable in us without any compromise. When you turn inward and see how you speak, how you act, how you think, you find so much of irregularity of your image. So, to bring out regularity out of irregularity, there is the process of elimination that starts there. Until then, it's just going around saying everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful, but you know nothing. So this is how it's a very engaging path. The path of discipleship is such a great engagement that a true disciple does not find time to while away, to waste away. That's how it works. So we continue up to a point in this theme, to know a little more about ourselves, to ensure that our inner being is clearly present to us. He is present to us with full light. Until then, the process has to continue. Thank you. We meet again.